are gorgeous. And you're watching it. It's a Serendipity production from the Hotel California Studios. I think that's enough puns on my name for one day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I found this crazy park by me, and there were chipmunks there, and I'm like, how come there are chipmunks here and nowhere else ever around me, or even miles around me? I don't know. In the news today, the Redskins are changing their name, and I was going to put on my cap from Kansas City Chiefs, who probably also should consider changing their name. Anyway, what else? Today is National French Fry Day, so I hope you guys got some. Me, I had none because I'm done eating that shit for a while. Anyway, without further ado, let me bring on tonight's guest, and let's see what I can do. Looks like there's two people here and he's not here. So I'll talk a little more. What else? Yeah, I got a computer this weekend, and you know, you got to figure out like what to do with it. You know, computers can be kind of hard. Like, I don't know, even like doing something kind of confusing, like actually turning it on. So it's been sitting nice and peacefully on a chair, and maybe I'll get to it eventually. We'll see. But I'm going to wave to some of you all for joining, because I appreciate all that. And still waiting for our guest tonight. And hopefully he will be here soon. But, and there he is. Alright, let's bring on... Hey, Leanie. Alright, let's bring on our guest tonight, shall we? Alright, it worked.
How you guys doing?
How's everybody doing tonight? How are you doing, John?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Okay. I'm like a little computer illiterate, so I have no idea how this works. Just kind of hanging out, doing a little writing for my book, and some recording for my music, and hanging out with my dogs and my wife. Not in that order.
Well, that's a lot of material that I could ask questions about. So let's talk about, you have, I guess it's an autobiography you have coming out?
I'm working on it with a guy named Paul Miles. Paul did some stuff, I think, with Motley. He's written quite a few books, so he's helping me. We did a bunch of interviews, and he kind of wrote everything out and sent it to me. And now I'm going through it, and I'm rewording things and making sure everything's in its chronological order. And then I'll send it back to him, and then he'll work on some things, and then, you know, we're just doing it back and forth, obviously, with this COVID thing, so all good.
Cool. You mentioned Motley, so I wanted to ask you about that anyway. I'm pretty big. I'm not wearing a Motley shirt now because I figured since you're in Nashville, I'd wear my Rhyme and Theater shirt.
There you go. I'm not wearing a Motley shirt either. So
see? So we kind of unmatched.
All good.
Something like that. What do you call it? So, I mean, I'm a pretty big Motley fan, and I've gone to see them more times than I've seen most bands. I was looking forward to the tour this year. So, although I hadn't purchased a ticket, so whatever, I was going to figure it out later. But what are some of your best memories of working with Motley, or what was it like? Actually, let's start with that.
It was, honestly, I had a great time with those guys, and a lot of people don't realize it, but I really do appreciate opportunity that they gave me. Sorry, I'm getting a pillow here so I can prop my phone up. I really do appreciate the opportunity he gave me. I had a blast with those guys, and but it was lunacy, man. It was pretty crazy. Like, I used to sit there and just shake my head quite a bit, trying to figure out how they survived up to the point I joined them. You know what I mean? They were crazy, and I tried to fit in the best I could, and didn't work out, but it was definitely a good time.
Were they still like pretty wild at the time that you joined them, or had they like sobered up some?
No. I mean, without telling too much, obviously, you know what I mean. They were sober-ish when I joined, but each guy had his own demons, and there was many occasions that they, fell off the wagon, if you will. But that's it was fun. Let's just put it that way.
I bet. Yeah, some people even say, I had a friend actually tell me once that he thought the best Motley album was the one that you sang on.
Well, I appreciate that. Listen, man, I without sounding weird, I was probably doomed from the beginning, because Vince Neil is, he's an enigmatic singer, man. He's they're gonna go at some point into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's an enigmatic singer. He's a legend, and unbeknownst to me, I gave it my best shot. But it was, replacing a legend. It would be like, joining Led Zeppelin, or you're always going to be compared to the other guy, the main guy. So, I was probably doomed right from the beginning, but, I think we had fun, and I think the record that we did still stands up to this day, and I'm happy with it. It's all good.
That's cool. And so after, what do you call it? After Motley, you had band Union, right?
Yeah.
Or was that okay?
No. Yep. We did Union for a little while, from, I think Bruce and I started putting the band together around 97. And I think we kind of stopped doing shows around 2001. It was weird. America was kind of going through a change for a little bit, and musically, and we were kind of considered passé. So it was weird. We were doing well as far as attendance in shows, but it wasn't translating into record sales. And then, actually, it was funny. Our second record, we gave out advance copies of our second record about 3 months before it came out, and the entire thing was on Napster before, literally for 3 months before our record came out. So we all get better offers, or financially better offers to do other things. So Bruce wound up joining Grand Funk Railroad. I played guitar with Brad for about 8 years, something like that, 8 or 9 years. And then, oddly enough, Brent and Jamie joined Vince Neil's solo band. So it was just, I hate to put the word business into it, but it is a business. And we all just got paid better money to go do other things. We never really split up, so.
Right. Well, I mean, that definitely happens. I mean, because you have to put salad on the table or whatever it is that you put on the table.
Mama needs new shoes.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Happy wife, happy life.
No, kind of like having a roof over my head. Don't know about other people, but I'm a fan.
Yes. I like houses that are built out of wood, brick, plasterboard, not cardboard. I don't like cardboard boxes.
I'm not a fan.
not for me, not a fan. I don't like living under a bridge. It's all good.
That's for Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah. Exactly. Let him do it.
So like, I know you're originally from Pittsburgh, is that right?
Nope, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, that's what I was gonna say, but wrong key city. Okay, in Pennsylvania.
Correct state.
And I got that point for share, gorgeous. Okay, so then you moved. I guess you moved out to LA to make it in like the rock world and everything, right?
Yes.
You told me once that like after a while LA gets. I mean, that's my dream to move to LA. So I know after a Dead Daisy show, you mentioned that we were talking about how I want to live in LA, and you said you'd already moved to Nashville. And it's funny because I was in Nashville last year. What's your take on Nashville versus LA?
Well, it's weird because when I first moved here, now I can only judge on the experiences that I had, and what I found with LA was that you can take somebody that is a pretty level-headed person and move them from anywhere in America or anywhere in the world, honestly, and bring them to LA. And there's this underbelly of LA that to me, brings out the worst in people. Obviously the weather's great. You've got beaches, you can be skiing, all this other stuff, but the thing that annoyed me is that most of these people that I met that came to LA to do whatever, whether it was to be an actress or an actor or director, everybody starts looking around and seeing what everybody else is driving, what they're wearing, the new purse that came out, whatever. And it really starts manipulating people's character. And I was there for 21 years, and I had bandmates that came that were very focused musicians, really wanted to be, rock stars or whatever, and just fell into the party life, became drug addicts. I dated and knew a bunch of girls that went out there, and they were sweethearts when they got there. And then all of a sudden, they started looking around like, how did that girl get that, new Mercedes? And, she's wearing the new Jimmy Choo shoes and, all this other stuff. And it just starts manipulating everybody's character to the point where that's all they're focused on. They're focused on material things. And when I first moved here to Nashville, I liked the fact that I could just go and sit and watch a football game on Sunday and sit at a bar and have wings and a whiskey. And someone would sit down to me. They didn't give a shit who I was. They could care less. They just wanted to talk about the game or, hey man, how's your life? Or there was something just more personable about Nashville. Although Nashville is growing so fast, it is becoming like LA, Atlanta, that thing. I can't even say Atlanta, just LA. It's getting a little bit of that mentality, you know what I mean? And I'm not totally digging it. I just like normal people, you know what I mean? For me, like a great day is just hanging out. Like it's summertime. Like a great day would just be hanging out by a pool with my friends, having a whiskey, maybe having some, buffalo wings, or just there, just talking about football or whatever normal shit. I have such an abnormal life 90% of the time.
Right.
That when I go home, I just want to be normal. You know what I mean? So that's my take. And that and a donut will get you nothing.
That's cool. So let's talk a little bit about the Dead Daisies. I played Midnight Moses, which is one of my favorite songs personally.
Thank you. Not one of our songs, though. It's actually a cover.
Is it? See, it sounds like it, but from whom?
Well, it's funny. There was an old band in the 70s called the Sensational Alex Harvey Band.
Huh.
And if you get a chance, you guys need to look them up.
I
Just
will.
go in and write Sensational Alex Harvey Band live, and it's hilarious. They were heavy. They were great. The singer was great, but they were just really, really theatrical. Like the lead guitar player wore mime makeup. The keyboard player would come out in like a bathrobe. They just did this weird theatrical shit, and they were so good. So when I first got together with the Daisies in LA, when they told me they were looking for a singer, we all went out to dinner, and they said, hey, we normally do a cover song or two when we record. Do you have any suggestions? And they had already done a song called Evil that was on the same record as Midnight Moses. And or they had suggested it. They hadn't recorded it yet. And then I said, oh, well, there's this song that I used to listen to when I was a kid, man. I know it's been done a few times, but it's such a great song. And I turned them on to this Midnight Moses tune. And it wound up being a great song in our set, so we recorded it. And it's actually kind of like, for the longest time, it was like the Dead Daisies calling card. It was weird.
But you guys did release a new album last year, or like not even a year ago.
I'm not in the band anymore. I don't know if you know this or not.
No, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I left the band in January of 2019, darling. Glenn Hughes is now the singer. Glenn took
the new album.
No, that's fine. They recorded a new album in France. So the lineup now is Glenn Hughes on bass guitar and vocals, Doug Aldrich on guitar, David Lowy on guitar, and Dean Castronovo on drums. Marco left and I left. So, but I heard their new stuff. I'm still friends with all the guys, and we're all good friends. Actually, David and Lowy and I were just texting each other the other day and sending each other funny memes. And I talked to Doug and Dean all the time. And I've known Glenn since I was in Motley. Glenn and I sang Misunderstood together. So everything's good, everything's groovy, and I wish them the best. That's the luck.
What made you leave the Dead Daisies?
To be honest with you, I had a solo band with my son prior to joining the band. And
I've seen you play solo.
Pardon me now?
I've seen you play solo before.
Yeah, and I know this is going to sound really weird to everybody, but when I was doing my own thing, I could go out and I had control over what shows I wanted to do and where I wanted to play. Like, I could call my agent, dude, why have I never played in Seattle? Or why have I never played in New Hampshire? Whatever. And, they would work it out for me. And the thing about the Daisies was, I mean, at the end of the day, it was really somebody else's trick. And their schedule was just brutal. Um, you know, like we were doing, you know, acoustic shows, you know, 4, 5, 6 nights a week. And I have to be careful. You know, I've got nothing to hide. You know, I just turned 61 this year. And I wanted to kind of slow down a little bit. I just want to take care of my throat and my voice so that I can continue to do this for another 10, 15, or 20 years. So I just thought it'd be best that I go back to doing my own thing. Unfortunately, this COVID thing has kind of thrown everything, thrown everybody a curveball. But I just kind of wanted to be in charge of my own destiny. You know what I mean? So
let's talk a little bit about the new music, shall we? So you were saying that you're writing new music. What's that about?
Well, actually, I've been working again with Marty Fredrickson, who produced the last couple of Dead Daisies records. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus because of the COVID thing. But I've been working with Marty, and actually, I'm going in a few days. I'm going to go hang out with Richard Fortis. Richard and I started a couple of songs that I want to finish up.
I know Richard.
Yeah, and I've been just writing with some different people. Like I'm working on some stuff with Terry Kelly from Night Ranger. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff with Marty. I wrote a song with a buddy of mine that I wrote with on my acoustic record, Daniel Carcos. But I'm really kind of I'm just going for a very classic, straight ahead 70s rock record.
I love that.
Yeah, like, I mean, my influences are Zeppelin, Aerosmith, the Beatles, Queen, Bowie, Grand Funk Railroad. So I'm just taking little bits of all that stuff and throwing it into a pot and seeing what I come up with. And I've already got a record label, Rat Pack. I've played them a few things, and they're very excited about what I'm doing. So we'll see. You know, right now, this day and age, it's all about you guys. Kind of, in some weird way, even this is very 70s. Like there are no record labels anymore. There is no radio for guys like me. You know, there's no MTV. So really, it's just about doing a great record, and then you guys telling all your friends, like, oh my God, did you hear the new John Corabi record? It's awesome. It's just word of mouth. That's how I grew up learning about bands like Aerosmith and David Bowie and Grand Funk. My friends would tell me about shit. So I'm just counting on doing a great record and then having all you guys tell as many people as you can about it. So
I'm sure it'll be amazing.
I hope from your mouth to God's ears.
I don't doubt it. Well, just close out with 4 minutes. Let's see if anybody has any questions.
I've seen it through. I'll let you pick them.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm seeing a lot of camp. Okay, how close is
You guys want to see my dog?
I want to see your dog. I love dogs.
Bandit,
I go crazy.
Come here, buddy. Bandit.
I had a friend with a dog named Bandit once.
Well, I have two Australian Shepherds. I have a standard, so he's about 60 pounds, and then my wife and I have a mini, and she's only about 19 pounds. And they're both kind of full grown, and so it was funny when Burt Reynolds passed away. We were doing like the whole Smokey and the Bandit thing, so we named them Sophie. So we call him Sophie and the Bandit. Here, buddy. Come here. Here, come on. Say hi. Come here. Come here. There he is.
Oh, Daddy. Oh, look at that beautiful dog.
There he is. There he is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Go say hi. Go chase something.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Somebody, how close to the Dead Daisy sound? I'm seeing a lot of come play here and come play that. There. I thought something said can't walk. It says can't wait. So these glasses suck. But yeah, how close to the Dead Daisy sound? I don't want to type anything. Why does my phone do things? Okay. How close to the Dead Daisy sound are you going with your new record?
I think, listen, I love all the Dead Daisies. I did 3 studio records with them, and then the 2 live albums. Or the 1 live album, and then I don't know what that last one was. It was like all cover songs. But I think of all 3 records that we did, the first one, Revolution, was probably the most eclectic. Because it had Devil at a Time, and then it had, the song Sleep. Something I Said. There was a lot of different. I felt there was a lot of different feels in there. So if I was going to say, does it sound like a Dead Daisies record? I would probably say it might lean a little bit more towards the very first record I did with the Daisies. But it's just, again, like I'm into Zeppelin, so I'm not doing like a lot of bands do like drum triggers and different things like that. It's nothing modern. I'm just miking up drums, miking up old vintage guitar cabinets, using old vintage guitars, acoustics, organs. I'm gonna hopefully have some gospel-y kind of backup singers. So I'm really, I don't want to say retro, but it's really going to be very 70s sounding. So if I had to pick one of the 3 Dead Daisies, I would say that it's probably the first record. I think that was the most eclectic record that we did.
That's very cool. I actually sing backup with a band that does a lot of Led Zeppelin covers, so it's interesting. And they were on my show the other night, or last week. So that's kind of interesting. Somebody asked about Mick Mars. I guess you were doing some work with him?
Yeah. Now, the thing with Mick, just to clear it up, Mick called me and asked me to sing 2 songs like a year or 2 ago. And I went in the studio and I did it for him. One of the songs I wrote lyrics for. The other one was kind of done already. So I changed some of the lyrics or whatever. And I literally just went in and sang the 2 songs. And then I split and went on tour with the Daisies. So I don't know what Mick's going to do with those songs. I don't even know if they'll be on his record. I don't even know what he used them for. He just asked me to sing those 2 songs.
Oh, okay.
So I think, again, I'm not sure. There's hearsay, rumors. I'm as excited to hear Mick's new record as you guys are. And I hope it's unbelievable. So
I'm sure it'll be great.
I hope so.
Don't doubt it. 2 fine musicians. What could go wrong? Anyway, no, but seriously, what could go wrong? Nothing. Okay, some people are asking where to get your merch.
I have a little store. I'll repost it again on it's Facebook. I don't know how to do it on Instagram, but I'll redo the thing. There's a link that you can click. Right now, I don't have a lot of stuff. I just have like just a couple of T-shirts. I have a long sleeve kind of baseball jersey with my logo on it. I'm a John Corabi. And then I went and because the Scream record just came back out again, I had some Scream T-shirts printed up. So I'm selling those. I have some patches, just some little things, pick packs. But I intend on, at some point, I want to get all the records I've done, some hats, different things like that. But I'm just trying to get rid of some of the stuff that I have at this point. You know what I mean? So, but I'll repost the link on Facebook as soon as I get off with you guys.
Cool. Well, so
It is
you'll be
called
able.
Crab Shack.
It's what?
I think it's called Crab Shack or Crab. I don't know. I'll repost it on Facebook.
That's cute. Well, anyway, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure having you on. And if you don't follow him already, please do. And I have other shows coming up, so please continue to follow me if you haven't already. And tell 3 friends to follow either one of us so that we do many things with, I don't know, we grow numbers. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is the Sharyn Show with Sharyn Gorgeous, that's me, and this has been a Serendipity production from the Hotel California Studios. Thank you, John.
Thank you, guys. Hope to see you on the road soon. Oh, but can I say one thing? If anybody's in Tennessee on July 23rd, finally, I'm doing a gig at a place called The Warehouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. And then I'm playing in Richmond, Indiana at a place called the Firehouse on the 25th. So if it's in your area, come on down.
Maybe I'll just come on down anyway. I need to get out of New York. I feel trapped.
We all do.
I know. Safe, everyone. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.